I hid a relationship from my family for 4 years straight, and the most disturbing part is that no one ever questioned anything. Not my parents, not my siblings, and not even the people who trusted me the most in my life. I created a version of myself that looked honest, disciplined, and completely transparent, even though none of it was real. And over time, that fake version became so normal that I stopped seeing it as fake. I started believing that I was in control, that I could manage everything without consequences, and that nothing would ever go wrong. But here's the truth that no one talks about when it comes to hiding something this big. The longer you keep a secret, the more it begins to control your thoughts, your actions, and eventually your entire life. And when reality finally catches up, it doesn't just expose the truth. It exposes every lie you told to protect it. What happened to me was not just a mistake. It was the moment I realized I had been living a life that was never sustainable. And the worst part is, by the time I understood that, it was already too late to go back. It started at a time when I felt completely disconnected from my own life. People around me seemed to be moving forward, building something meaningful, and becoming someone they were proud of. Meanwhile, I felt stuck, confused, and unsure about what I was even doing. Then this person came into my life, and everything started feeling different. They listened without judging. They understood without needing explanations. And they made me feel seen in a way I hadn't felt in a long time. At first, it felt like something small, something harmless, something I didn't need to think too much about. But feelings don't stay small when they are ignored. They grow quietly, slowly, and deeply. And before I realized it, that connection became something serious, something important, something I didn't want to lose. But at the same time, I knew one thing very clearly. My family would never accept this. Not because they didn't care about me, but because they had expectations, beliefs, and a vision of my life that didn't include this. So when the first opportunity came to tell the truth, I didn't take it. Instead, I avoided it. I gave a simple answer, something normal, something that didn't raise any questions. That one moment created a separation between my reality and the version of my life my family believed in. At first, it felt easy. Nothing changed. No one suspected anything. Everything seemed completely normal. That gave me confidence. A false sense of control that made me believe I could handle this. So the next time, I did the same thing, but with more detail. I started explaining things that weren't real. I started creating situations that never happened. I started building a story that connected everything together. And once again, no one questioned anything. That's when it stopped being temporary. It became a system, a routine, a second life that I had to maintain every single day. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and before I realized it, years had already passed like this. 4 years of hiding, 4 years of lying, and 4 years of slowly disconnecting from reality. Because when you live like that, you are not just hiding something. You are constantly thinking ahead. Every conversation becomes calculated. Every answer becomes planned. Every situation becomes something you need to control. I started avoiding certain people, especially the ones who asked too many questions. I limited my interactions, not because I wanted to, but because it felt safer. At the same time, I became emotionally dependent on the one person my family didn't even know existed. They became my comfort, my escape, and the only place where I didn't have to pretend. But even that started changing. Because when your life is built on secrecy, even the safe spaces don't feel completely secure. There was always a fear in the background, a constant reminder that everything could fall apart at any moment. That fear didn't leave me for a single day. It stayed in my thoughts, in my decisions, and in the way I lived my life. Until one day, it finally happened. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way I expected, but in the simplest way possible. A small mistake, A moment I didn't think about. A message that appeared at the wrong time, in front of the wrong person. At first, it was confusion. Simple questions that I tried to answer calmly. But then those questions started connecting. Details started clashing. And suddenly, the story I had built over 4 years started breaking apart in front of me. I tried to fix it. I tried to adjust my answers. I tried to control the situation like I had always done before. But this time, it didn't work. Because when multiple truths collide with multiple lies, there is no way to control the outcome. The expressions on their faces changed. Confusion turned into doubt. Doubt turned into realization. And realization turned into something much heavier. Disappointment. That moment felt longer than it actually was. Because in that moment, everything became clear. Not just to them, but to me. I realized how far I had gone, how many lies I had told, how much distance I had created, and how everything I thought I was protecting was now breaking in front of me. Then came the silence. The kind of silence that doesn't need words to explain what just happened. In that moment, I had a choice. Continue lying and go deeper into something I couldn't control anymore. Or, finally, tell the truth. And for the first time in 4 years, I chose the truth. I admitted everything. The relationship, the lies, the life I had been hiding for so long. It was uncomfortable. It was painful. And it was something I should have done much earlier. The reactions were exactly what I feared. Some were angry, some were hurt, some were completely silent. But the hardest part was not their reaction. It was realizing that I had broken something that wasn't easy to rebuild. Trust, because it was never just about what I was hiding. It was about how long I had been hiding it. But after everything came out, something changed inside me. For the first time in years, I felt a sense of relief that I didn't expect. Because I didn't have to think anymore. I didn't have to plan, calculate, or remember anything. I didn't have to live 2 lives. I was finally living one. And even though that one life was messy, uncomfortable, and uncertain, it was real. And that was something I hadn't felt in a very long time. If you are watching this right now and hiding something from the people who trust you the most, understand that this situation is more common than you think. It might feel like you are protecting them, avoiding conflict, or managing things in a better way. But in reality, you are only delaying something that will eventually come out. No matter how well you think you are controlling the situation, the truth always finds a way to surface over time. And when it does, it doesn't just reveal the secret, it reveals every decision you made to hide it. It might feel difficult to be honest right now, but that difficulty is temporary. Living a lie, however, creates a pressure that only grows stronger with time. So choose honesty, even if it feels uncomfortable, because that is the only way to protect your relationships in the long term. And if this story made you reflect on your own life, or think about something you have been avoiding, don't ignore that feeling. Make sure you subscribe for more real, deep, and powerful stories like this. Because sometimes, the truth we are most afraid of is the one that has the power to change everything.